Hello, my name is Jackie Hillgrube. I'm a realtor with Coldwell Banker Hearthside in the Newtown office. And this is your Bucks County snapshot for 2018 year-to-date. In 17 out of the 22 key markets is in a seller's market. However, as you go township by township, you will notice that depending upon price point, you may drift off of a true seller's market, and that's key to the buyers that are out there. You are in an average market where buyer and seller can negotiate and everybody can feel comfortable when there's 6 months of supply. That means everybody feels like there's a level playing ground. When you go above 6 months of supply, it's called a buyer's market. When you go below that, it's called a seller's market. Why do we have no inventory in Newtown? No inventory in upper make, below $1 million, no inventory in lower make, no inventory in Falls Township. Why? Because location, location, location when it comes to real estate. We sit on the Route 1 corridor, we sit on 95 north and south, so if you're working in Mercer, if you're working in Philly, if you take a train into New York, you're golden. It's like a trifecta to live here. Location, beautiful countryside, nice presentation of homes. Where would you want to live? You only want to live in Bucks County. Hot areas to live. Anything that has a borough at the end of it. Doylestown Borough. Well, that's Central Bucks. So that's a little further from the 95 and Route 1 corridor, but the cultural, the restaurants, the shopping overrides the additional 10 minutes it may take to get to one of the corridors. The borough, you can walk to everything. Right outside of the borough is a beautiful township called Doylestown Township. So that's hot, will always be hot. It presents itself in every genre that a buyer coming into this area wants to be. Then you have Newtown Borough, Newtown Township. Again, it's a borough. So not only do you have location, which is a few minutes from 95, but you have that borough living, where if you're selling your big home, you don't want to go to a major city. You could purchase something and walk into town, get your coffee, and so that competition becomes fierce. Hot for 2019. Yardley Borough, the same. Yardley has a very idyllic, quiet, reserved, beautiful type of living. Their price points in the borough in 2018 saw a major tick because people discovering it, and the people discovering Yardley Borough was Mercer County. Seller's market. That's where you're dealing with the buyers and they're pulling their hair out, and you'll see they actually leave some agents because of the disappointment, the conversations that weren't done prior. So walk into Newtown, walk into Lower Makefield, and zero inventory exists. How do you get your client a home? Easy. You are on top of the databases 24/7. You are writing letters and you're putting them in mailboxes. You are begging people to sell their homes. Your buyer has to be able to move on a dime quickly. So the buyer agent has to make sure that they are qualified, they understand the average sold in that particular community or neighborhood, and can react to that home not in a day, but within the moment they leave that property. Because if they call you the next day and say to you, wow, we really did like that home, let's go for it, that home's going to be sold already. It's going to be under contract. Sellers give us their price. We don't give them the price. We give them information. We inform them of what that price is and where they should possibly look at where their house fits. But if they want their price at X, they get their price at X. What your job is as the seller's agent is to make sure that after a couple of weeks of a sales cycle, after 2 to 3 weeks of people coming in and touring their home, if they don't have an offer, they need to re-look at that marketing plan. And price has to be looked at, because if a home is not selling in Bucks County, it's condition and it's price, and one or two have to be fixed. There is a very difficult price point right now that is not in a seller's market. It truly is a buyer's market, and that's that price point that's $1 million and above. And you can look at that price point if you're in Doylestown, Buckingham, Upper Makefield, Solebury. You are no longer in a market that's going to sell within the average days on market. So if you take Buckingham, if you take Doylestown, and if you take Upper Make, and if you take Solebury, you are definitely in a buyer's market above $1 million, because you're above that 6 months of supply. You have to have that conversation with that seller. They have to know what their competition is. So they have to price in market value. If they price in market value, then they'll attract the buyers that are out there, and they will sell below days on market. And that's key there as well. 2019 is going to mimic 2018. My concern for 2019 is anybody on the fence right now, meaning sellers, more so than anybody else, really need to put their house on the market. There will be a change in 2020, and I don't think that change is going to benefit the seller. It's not gloom and doom. It's going to be a shift. You cannot continue this rate of resale, and we are definitely not going to continue that rate of increase in 2020. It will be an adjustment. It will be a normal adjustment. It's not an artificial adjustment. We're not in the Great Recession, because that was an artificial adjustment. That was people in the marketplace doing bad credit, and that's why prices escalated. This is just a normal organic price change that's going to happen. And why not, if you're a seller, get the most out of your biggest asset? You worked this hard 20, 30 years. You probably picked the greatest location. You probably tripled your market value. Why not get the best out of it in 2019? So really think about your home. Really think, do I want to carry this for another cycle? Because in 2019, if you got a home that's 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, 0.4 of an acre, and you live in Bucks County, think about selling. If you're a buyer or seller in Bucks County, let's have a great conversation on what our marketplace looks like. Please visit me at JackieHillgrube.com. Find me on Facebook or Instagram.